Now, the Fifth Amendment is clear. Madam Secretary, you committed to uphold the Constitution. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And you now, of course, commit to following the Fifth Amendment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, Madam Secretary, you are violating that amendment as we speak, and you are breaking your oath. You are deporting people, and the department is deporting people without due process. We cannot deport U.S. citizens. Without due process, there is nothing that Donald Trump could essentially be stopped in grabbing people off the street. That's happening today. Now, maybe someone in government might not like your tattoos. Maybe they don't like how somebody votes. Maybe they don't want to see how someone represents your constituents in Congress. But if you can't see a judge, no one can protect you. And I hope that you and I and everyone here can agree with that. And apparently, not even the Supreme Court actually matters when it comes to the case, of course, of Kilmar Garcia. But let's remember that we're not just deporting people. We're sending some of them to be locked up in one of the most dangerous prisons in the world. Now, Madam Secretary, you've heard this case today, but I have to speak about it one more time. I think it's really important. This is Andre Romero. He had an appointment to come to this country to claim asylum. We gave him that appointment. The United States government gave him his asylum appointment. He comes for his appointment. He passes a credible fear interview. He's a gentle person as described by his family. He's openly gay. He was leaving his country for persecution of being gay. He did everything right, claimed asylum, that was legal. And then we sent him to a dangerous prison at the border with no due process. There are claims about his tattoos. He has his parents' names on his tattoos and 2 crowns that relate to a festival back in his hometown. We are paying to lock this young gentleman up forever. What I would ask is the ambassador in El Salvador, we have asked for proof of life of Andre. He has had no access to lawyers or family since he has been taken over a month now. No one knows if he's even alive. His mother just wants to know if he is alive. So my ask to you, Madam Secretary, is the same that I asked the ambassador. Can we do a proof of life check on Andre just to see if he is alive?
Congressman, we are utilizing the tools that Congress has given us to apply due process to individuals. We are doing that for every person, and we are making sure that we're following what you have given us as far as guidance and how things should be implemented.
Would you commit to just letting his mother know, as a mother to mother, if Andre is alive? He was given an asylum appointment by the United States government. We gave him an appointment. We said, Andre, come to the border at this time to claim asylum. He was taken to a foreign prison in El Salvador. His mother just wants to know if he is alive. Can we check and do a wellness check on him?
Our asylum applications are different than the granting of asylum, and I don't know the specifics of this individual case. This individual is in El Salvador, and the appeal would be best made to the president and to the government of El Salvador on this. This is not under my jurisdiction.
Madam Secretary, you have said that CCOT in El Salvador is one of the tools in the toolbox that you have. You have said that and has been quoted as saying that. You and the president have the ability to check if Andre is alive and if he's not being harmed. Would you commit at least into looking and asking El Salvador if he is alive?
This is a question that's best asked to the president and the government of El Salvador.
And I think you know very well that you could ask that question. What you are choosing to do, Madam Secretary, is disregard this young man's life, this young man's family, who was given an appointment by the United States. I think it is shameful that you won't even request to see if this young man is alive. His family has no idea, has no access to lawyers. I would hope that we would have the humanity to just check if this young man is okay. With that, I yield back. It's shameful.
Gentleman yields. I think we've covered everyone. Mr.
What does it mean to follow the law, arrive at the border to claim asylum, and still find yourself trapped in a dangerous prison with no one checking on your well-being? That is the stark reality that Congressman Robert Garcia confronted Secretary Kristi Noem about during a congressional hearing that exposed a troubling intersection of immigration policy, bureaucratic authority, and human rights. Garcia started by reminding everyone of the foundation of American law, the Fifth Amendment, which guarantees that no person, citizen or non-citizen, shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. He emphasized that this isn't abstract legal theory. It is a principle that directly impacts people's lives every single day. By asking Secretary Noem to acknowledge that the Constitution protects all persons, not just U.S. citizens, Garcia framed the hearing as a test of whether the government respects the basic legal rights of everyone within its reach. The human story at the heart of this hearing is that of Andre Romero, a young man fleeing persecution because of his sexuality. Andre followed the law meticulously. He was issued a government-sanctioned asylum appointment, attended the border as instructed, and passed a credible fear interview, steps designed to ensure his safety under U.S. law. Despite this, he was detained and sent to one of the most dangerous prisons in El Salvador. Since then, he has had no access to lawyers, no contact with family, and no one knows for sure if he is still alive. Garcia's questioning brought the human cost of bureaucratic decisions into sharp focus. He reminded the secretary that this is not about politics or policy points. It is about human lives. A mother cannot sleep at night wondering whether her child is alive. A government that issues promises of protection has a moral and legal responsibility to ensure that promise is fulfilled. Secretary Noem's responses emphasized jurisdictional limits, noting that the enforcement and appeals process of asylum claims abroad falls under the authority of foreign governments. But Garcia highlighted the critical detail that the U.S. government itself set Andre's asylum process in motion. By creating an expectation of safety and then failing to ensure even minimal humanitarian checks, the government bears responsibility. It's not just a procedural failure, it is a profound failure of humanity. The broader lesson here is about the tension between law enforcement and human rights. Immigration policies exist to regulate borders and ensure national security, but they must be applied in a way that respects the dignity and rights of individuals. When systems prioritize procedure over people, the results can be catastrophic. Andre Romero's case is a reminder that behind every asylum claim is a life, a family, and a story of courage and fear. This exchange also raises deeper questions about accountability. When officials claim that certain actions are beyond their immediate control, it challenges us to think critically about where responsibility lies in government systems. Policies may be written to regulate human behavior, but enforcement decisions are made by people. Every individual within the system has the power and the obligation to ensure that the law is applied with fairness, humanity, and integrity. Andre's story reminds us that law, policy, and procedure are not abstract concepts. They have consequences for real people. It challenges us to think about what justice really means when the lives of vulnerable individuals are at stake. And it underscores the essential need for checks, transparency, and accountability in the systems designed to protect us. If this story moved you and you want to understand more about how policies intersect with human rights, subscribe to this channel, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share this video. Learning about these cases is not just about staying informed, it's about understanding the profound human stakes behind every policy decision.